I'm Maddie Costanzo. I have run my own business for the last 8 years as I guess personal trainer would be the easy way to title it, but I think I'm more than that. So I like to say a performance coach for junior athletes.
Okay mate, so this is a thing, we're
back.
Episode number 2, heading down the south coast to meet Maddie. Tell us a bit about her.
Well, Maddie came to the academy for us, to the second one. I think she came to the second one. And she basically said she couldn't really afford it, but she found a way to make it work. She put it on Afterpay or something, and she said, I was in a bit of a low coming into this athletically and with not a great deal of motivation. And it spurred something in her where she wanted to go back and give football another crack.
The women in my life are who I work so hard for and why I work so hard. If we start from the top, my grandma beat thyroid cancer. She lives out on a farm 40 kilometres from the closest town. And then you go to my mum, who has the same battles with thyroid condition and stuff like that and weight and everything. But she's been the only person that's been there from day dot in my life. Dad's come in and out, whatever. She's a strong woman. She's looked after me and my sister and now my little nephew. She looks after all of us. And then you go to my sister. She is obviously full-time mum now, also works a full-time job in nursing, and she actually works with dementia patients in aged care, which takes a super special person to work with those people. So from my grandma to my mum to my sister, the most incredible women in my life, and they inspire me every day, even though they think they don't, but they do, and I just want to work hard just to be like them. One more. Beautiful, other side, balance. Good. I love coaching all the other sports, but I just find when I get to coach footballers, it's just a different type of love and specialty because you just understand it and you know what they're feeling. So yeah, at 14 I debuted in first grade, and I'd played first grade football in the National Premier League since I was 14. And then 19 I went into a diploma of football at a football college. It was the first year it was ever run. And then yeah, so I was there at the college, and we did every term there was a selection game, and out of the 140 students they would select a team of 16 to play against Westfield Sports High or King's. I think it's King Sports, one of the boys' schools. So the first 2 terms, not a single female got picked, they were all boys. And term 3, I got picked, and I was the only female that got picked in that 16 squad. And I even got picked in the starting 11. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And then Western Sydney Wanderers were watching, and I did my first ACL. So I rehabbed, 10 months later I came back and played, got golden boot of the NPL in 2017, so I came back and I was stoked with how I was playing. And my coach said at the trial game, Mads, if you have a really, really good season, the Sydney FC coach is watching you and you'll be able to hopefully sign a pro contract on the back of this. And then I did my second ACL. I just felt really lost and what am I doing? If I don't play football, then who's Maddie? Because that was my whole life.
Seated box jump. We'll just test out your quad on that one, see how it goes.
I just done a couple months on tour. The judge thought this is something I ain't done before. Only if you knew that I got back 6. Last couple times that I touched that 4s. Gloves. There's so much that the first can't know that I done. I was in court, relying on luck. Touched that studio, now I'm up. The youth they wanna be like me, but it was ups and downs, pains and frowns.
I remember it really clearly when you were at the academy. I think it was probably the end of the last day, and you came up to me and you said, this has been awesome, I can't thank you enough. But then, and everyone says that, and it doesn't mean it's not important, but yours was really important because you said, I'm going to give football one more try. I said, I'm going to get on the app, yep. I'm going to get a rehab coach, and thank you because I'm not done. And then the next day, you sent us an email that said, I have one thing written above my desk.
Yeah.
Remember what that thing was?
Yeah, on my whiteboard it says 98 standard, and that's all that was there. And that's just what I dedicated the next couple of months to, and it was there, I think, for about 6 months until we moved house. after that, I was like immersed into the app and everything like that. But yeah, after the 2 days, it really showed me that I am capable of more. And I always felt like, you know, I felt like I was going to be a professional athlete. No, that didn't turn out, but I felt like there was always something else that I could give. So having that 2-day workshop reminded me of like the fire in my belly that you can do hard shit and you should be surrounded by these people because you can do that sort of stuff. And then that's why I was like, I'm going to train my ass off, get as strong as I can to try and get back to football and set the standard of that 98 set and try and match it. And then I feel like I've achieved that in my own way now. I had 2 years off. And yeah, first game in, we won 1-0. I scored the goal. And then the second game on the same day, we won 1-0 and I scored an absolute cracker, which I was pretty stoked about. That 2-day workshop will be a milestone in my life, and whatever happens from here, that 98 workshop definitely set a new chapter, I guess, in my book for like what's next.
Love.